Hello my little gorgeous people, welcome to another day on my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys about how I've almost died. Now, people are going to be like, oh come on Diamond, really? Where is this story time gonna go? Basically, I've had my fair share of near-death experiences, like a lot of people have had fair shares of near-death experiences, and I'm just gonna sit here and tell you guys 3 of them, because I only remember 3 of them at the moment. So like I'll probably end up asking my mom later on, like, hey, remember any times that I've almost died, to see what she'll say. But like, let's just get started. So the first story, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how old I was, but I remember it was at a family reunion, because, you know, every once in a while, I don't even know, I think it's every other year we have a family reunion in my family. So it was me and my cousin Jaden, and then another cousin, and I can't remember who she was, and I kind of feel bad that I can't remember her. We were in a hotel, and we were all running around, playing around, stuff like that. We had been in the pool for a while, and then after we got off the pool, we were like, you know, like I said, running around. And I think we were like playing a game of tag, and we ran up these stairs towards the elevator. No, we were just playing around with the elevator. We ran up these stairs and went to the elevator because we had been going down, and then we'd run back up the stairs and go down again because, you know, like, we thought elevators were fascinating. And this is how I actually got my irrational fear of elevators. So while we were waiting, like, it had been closed, and while we were waiting, I had been resting my hand against the door. Now this is the part where everybody assumes that I'm lying, because they think that when I say like what's about to happen, they mean like in between the elevator where the sensor is. I'm just like, no dummy, I was on the door, not in between the door, on the door. So I had rested, so like the elevator's here, and I had my hand resting on the door, and like I had turned to talk to my cousins, and I wasn't paying attention to realize that it was opening, and as it was opening, my hand slid with the door, and it got stuck in between where the door like stops, and now the elevator won't even close because, like, I guess in a way it's thinking, oh, something's stuck, and my hand is literally stuck in the wall, like between the elevator and a wall, and I can't pull it out, and I'm freaking out. It's crushing my hand, not actually, because like my hand didn't break, but it felt like it was being crushed, and like I'm screaming and I'm crying, and like nobody knows what's going on, and my cousins were like, oh my god, I'm gonna go get butter, and I was like, you do what you gotta do. So she runs and she gets butter. I don't know why they let her get butter. And she comes back and she's trying to like get my hand out, and we still can't get it out. So then my other cousin runs down to get my grandma. My grandma comes in, she's like, oh my god, like she's freaking out because my hand's stuck. I'm crying, like this is huge mess. And finally we get my hand out, which required my grandma to yank me. Thankfully my hand didn't rip off with it. She was like, y'all need to stay away from the elevators, like stop playing around. I would not get on an elevator for the longest time after that. Like, they'd be like, okay, let's go. And I was like, I'd rather take 50 flights of stairs than step into the elevator because, like, I'm gonna die. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but knowing me, I will die. I remember vividly, like, they had ice on my hand, and they were like, because, like, I always slept like this, and they were like, oh, you can't sleep on your hand or it's gonna, like, they were, like, terrifying me. Like, I don't even remember what they said, but I was just told, like, keep the ice on my hand overnight, and, like, I couldn't, it was a mess. Story 2. I also don't remember how old I was, but it was at my god brother John's, his birthday party, and we were in the pool. Now remember, I couldn't swim. I still, to this day, can't really swim. Like, I can now move like from one end of the pool to the other end of the pool, but like not like far distances and stuff like that. Like, I know, like, it is not even like, I feel like it's not even really actual swimming, because I still don't know how I'm doing it. Like, I know it's like you move your arms and you move your feet, and like half the time, like, I'll be doing it and I'll be like moving for like 5 minutes, and then I'll only have moved like 3 arm lengths. Like, I'm not actually doing much. So of course I stayed in the shallow end because, once again, I couldn't swim. Remember, they were like, okay, time to get out the pool, like blah blah blah, like I think it was either time to eat or presents or whatever. Like, people are getting out the pool, and my sister and somebody was still in the pool, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get my sister. So I moved all the way to the deep end to get her, and then like she had been getting out right as I went over there with her friend, and then I started walking, so I was like, oh, okay, and I tried to like jump up, and that's when everything went downhill. I went down and I tried to come up, but remember, it's the deep end. I'm still fairly young, can't swim, and I start to like kind of drown, and like I just remember freaking out because I couldn't get out the water, and nobody helped me, like nobody. Like, I know somebody had to hear splashing or whatever, because they were all by the door. And eventually I was able to like get out of the water, and I'm just like laying on the side of it freaking out because like I'm like, if I couldn't have gotten out, I would have died. Like nobody over there was smart enough to like, what's that noise, and see me dying. After that, I didn't get in the water for a long time either. Like I remember we'd go to pools and I'd be like, nah, I'm good, like peace. The third story, it was me almost getting hit by a car. The way I learned how to ride a bike, honestly, was the worst way possible. When I learned how to ride a bike, I was in Iowa, and I lived in a duplex, which is basically a house. It's like one house, but it's split into kind of like an apartment, but only 2 houses, and you know, if that makes sense. So it's like half a house, but still pretty big, you know. On the other side, I had made friends with those people over there, and we would always like hang out, spend the night at their house or spend the night at my house. Like, you know, it just went both ways. Now they were going out of town, but we would always ride on the bikes together. So as we're going out of town, I was like, hey, can I like ride your guys' bike while you're gone? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I went over and I, you know, took the bike off the thing, but I didn't know how to ride it. So like what I would do is because it was kind of like next to their side was an alley, and you know, obviously like it would go like downhill. So basically I would go down, but as I couldn't ride the bike, like I didn't know how to like pedal or whatever. It was just that I couldn't keep my balance, so I would like do that, and then I would turn and I would go back up, and then I would always fall. So bad that like my knee had been scraped so bad that this one girl had to put band-aids all over like me. Like she was my friend, and I remember my mom was like, you're not allowed to hang out with her because she just thought she was a bad influence. But my knee was like so, it was bleeding, like it was horrible. The house next to that one, like their side, had just been moved, was being remodeled. It was 2 guys, 2 girls, and they were remodeling it, but I didn't know how to ride a bike. So the guy was like, hey, you want me to teach you? And I was like, sure. Now he didn't do anything inappropriate, like he was really nice and really helpful, and like he showed me, and you know, the girl was there, like she was just like, not letting anything bad happen, like no one's going to jail. So he showed me how, like he held the bike steady, he was like, okay, you're gonna put your feet on the pedal and you're gonna keep going, all right? Like he taught me how to ride a bike. Like, Dad, where were you? I'm sorry, this isn't a calling my father out video. I'll stop. Let me stop. So basically, how this led up to was now I knew how to ride a bike. So I had asked my mom to get me a bike. She got me a bike in Iowa, but as we moved to Texas, we couldn't take the bike with us. So eventually she got me a new bike here in Texas. Along with her getting me this bike, my very first house in Texas, it was like my house here, and then like around the block was a gas station. She had asked me to go to the gas station. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the bike. So I was riding the bike to the gas station, right? And I was waiting for the little walkie thing to say, yeah, go. Well, me not paying attention, I didn't know that it had already said I could go yet. So by the time I had started going, it was when it was counting down. But me being slow, because I was like, oh crap, because I was already holding stuff on the way to the gas station. It had set, like my time was over, and the light turned green. Well, everybody saw me coming, so they were like, oh, we'll just wait for this little girl to finish. But this one guy was on his phone and started going. And he kind of hit my bike kind of hit the car. I don't really know. But all I know is I fell over. I was shook. Like, I was so terrified. He got out of his car. He was like, are you okay? Everyone starts rolling down their windows, being nosy. They're like, oh my God, he hit this person. Honestly, if I had known about insurance then, I would have totally faked an injury probably. Like, pay for my college, please. Like, no one else is gonna do it. No, well, I mean, like, I did get hurt, but like, I was more scared than feeling the pain. So like, he was like, are you okay? And like, I grabbed the bike and I got my stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, I was terrified. He's like, are you sure? And I just left. Like, I was like, don't know you, don't talk to me. Like, you almost killed me, bro. Like, you literally hit me. I could have died. Like, what? Oh my God. So then, you know, I go to the gas station, get the stuff, I come back home. I'm like, Mom, I almost died. And she's like, what do you mean? Like, she thinks I'm joking. I'm like, I got hit by a car. And then she freaks out. Nothing happened though. Like, she didn't care enough. Like, she was like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. She was like, okay, thanks, where's the stuff I asked you for? And even though I said there was only gonna be 3, I just remembered one more that I'm gonna tell you, and then I'll be done. This kept me from getting in the front seat for the longest time. So I was in elementary school, and my Aunt Desiree had came to pick me up from school, and I don't know where we were going because my grandma's house was right around the corner, and we were like, nowhere. We weren't going to my grandma's house. She picked me up, and we were like jamming out to music and stuff like that, and I remember I was like, hey, we were at a red light, and I was like, she looked at me, I was like, there's something on your lip. So she pulled the little visor thing down, and she looked, and then she was like, is it gone? And I was like, no. And I guess somewhere through this, she like pressed on the gas a little bit. She goes to do it again. And then we both look and we're in the wrong lane. And a semi truck is coming straight for us. Like we're about to die. So then, like a normal person, we're screaming. She swerves the car. I honestly think we both passed out because I don't remember crashing. I don't remember. There's a lot I don't remember. When I finally woke up, her dog, I can't remember her dog's name, I think it was Georgia, had jumped out the car and was like standing at the door barking. Thankfully she didn't run off because she might have got hit. And people are like, oh my god, like they're running to the car. I remember this guy, he like yanked open the door and helped me out. Like he was like carrying me to the grass because remember I was only in elementary school. And I'm crying because I literally believed that it was my fault. Like I was like, I could have got us killed. And then my aunt's crying because she thinks that like my mom's gonna hate her and that I'm gonna hate her. I remember they took me to the hospital. I got to ride in an ambulance. They gave me a stuffed animal. I remember that was like my favorite part about this whole thing. Like I was like, oh my god, I get to say I did this. They had to give me eye drops because like my eye puffed up. I had this huge scab on the side of my eye. Like it was horrible. Like everyone was like, what happened? And I was like, I got in a car accident. But yeah, that's all I have. Like 4 stories of how I almost died in one story time. Thankfully I didn't die and I'm still alive. I'm grateful for it every freaking day of my life. But if you guys liked this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe because I make videos every single Tuesday and every single Saturday. And leave me suggestions of what you want to see on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you all. Goodbye.